Haven't done this in a while. Speculation time. So, one of the topics that I've wanted to talk about for a while, a wild theory that I've had, is that I believe that Vision's love for Wanda originated from Ultron. And one of the reasons why I believe this is because of a couple hints that are dropped during Age of Ultron. And it's essentially three major scenes that happens with Ultron that makes me believe that he actually did have feelings for Wanda. Now, the biggest one is definitely the Battle of Sokovia, where he's essentially about to drop the platform. But before he drops the platform, Wanda finds his body in the bus. And he turns to Wanda and he's like, Wanda, if you stay here, you'll die. Throughout the entire movie, he's never cared about human life at all. Chops off Claw's arm, destroys a bunch of property, kills a bunch of people in Sokovia, doesn't give a shit. But when it comes to Wanda, he actually cares about her well-being. Second scene that reinforces this fact happens a little bit before that, and it's when he's basically at the lab creating Vision. For the first time ever, Wanda is able to read his mind, and she sees the death and destruction that he's going to create, and it horrifies her. And they leave, and he tries to make an argument for them not to leave. He's like, whoa, guys, wait, and they leave anyway. But then we fast forward that when the Avengers take the cradle, and he's back in his lab after kidnapping Black Widow, he turns to her almost heartbroken, and he's like, well, I don't have anyone else. Not anymore. Where did these emotions come from? Out of left field? Maybe. Am I insane? Probably. But at that point in time, I was like, damn, did he really care about... I mean, he didn't give a shit about Pietro. He got that man down. But did he really care about Wanda? Like, where? Oh. Then we go a little bit further back again to their initial meeting. He comes down the steps in the cloak, and he's talking to both Wanda and Pietro, and about how, oh my god, you survived Strucker's experiments, blah, blah, blah. But for the first time ever, he reaches out, and he tries to touch Wanda's face. And it's like, well, why would he do that? He could just casually have his conversation and just leave. Why try to go for, like, an affectionate caress? Like, where did that come from? Now we're jumping forward. Ultron is dead, and we're dealing with Vision. We are in Civil War, I believe. In Civil War, there are hints that essentially he's been, I don't know, stalking Wanda. Is that a definition of something? A synthezoid is stalking you? Can a synthezoid stalk? Who knows? Gathering data. He's been gathering data on Wanda, where he's been like wandering into her room after she's doing stuff, and she's had to tell him to use the door, and he's researching her homeland so that he can like cook her food and things along these lines. Now, while this is a directive from Stark, we've seen the cold part of Vision that would have just taken the directive and just like watched her like a security camera. Instead, Vision was actually trying to comfort her, make her feel happy, explain that she wasn't in the wrong, that she's okay, that she has friends. And you have to ask yourself, well, where would this come from? Jarvis was just a program. He could be snarky, sure, but as a computer program, he couldn't feel love. He was bound to Tony because Tony was the one who created him, but he couldn't feel complex emotions. These complex emotions were essentially created by Ultron. They're from Ultron, because during Age of Ultron, when you see where the data upload ends, the data upload ends at 71%, which means, don't quote me on that. Somebody's gonna go Google it or go watch the movie. Don't quote me on that, but I could have sworn it ended at 71%, which means that whatever the remaining percentage is Jarvis. So he's mostly Ultron and then Jarvis to make Vision. But yeah, that's my video. That's my crazy bonkers theory that Vision's love for Scarlet Witch began way back before he was Vision, when he was Ultron. Now, would Ultron have saved Wanda when he was still planning to destroy the planet? I think what if kind of answers that question. But yeah, that's the video. I believe Ultron loved Wanda, and a part of that love was maintained in the core of Vision's body. When Jarvis was uploaded to Vision, it essentially took root in Vision himself. If you disagree, if you have a different theory, comment below, because I love reading your theories and I love talking to you guys about this stuff.